Hi, y'all. How are y'all doing?
Hello, hello.
We're late because of me. Well, first of all, I was in Mo's live, so thank all of y'all who came over from there, and hopefully, I'm gonna get to rewatch it. Well, I am gonna get to rewatch it, but anyways. Hi, everybody. For those of y'all who are new here, I am Audra. What I started doing is this Fresh Face series, like basically Fresh Face Sesh, where creators, especially specifically in the beauty sphere, can be barefaced and just chat, have a good time, and not feel like one, it has to be about makeup, two, you have to be made up, and three, just be able to relax and have our faces just be our faces because we're always in a process of getting ready on our videos if we're not already made up. And I just want y'all and all of us to have like a nice fresh space. And for those of y'all who don't know, my fabulous guest today is the Miss Cherita from Cherita Explains It All. She does wonderful commentary channels. She has a TikTok, which it is PlayFab. I'm going to link all of that below. I forgot to do that beforehand, but I'll go ahead and link her TikTok. She has Instagram. Her channel's already linked. I'm loving your Dollar Tree hauls, BT Dubs, because it's like making me like I had just gotten out of that Dollar Tree like spiral, and now you pulled me back in.
This is the best time to go to the Dollar Tree is during like the fall and Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving season because they have everything. They have everything there.
Yeah. It's just, I was telling you backstage, I got like plates and bowls and glasses and silverware from there when I first was like got divorced because I didn't have those things. I listen, if divorce were like ghosting, I think that is what I did. Like I just left all the shit there. I was like, bye. You have it. I'm broke. I don't care. Leave me alone. Hey, Josh. Josh is here. Guess what, Josh? I'll be washing my brushes tomorrow. I don't want to hear any shit. I will tweet it so we know what happened. Mwah. For those of you that don't know, Josh is also owner of Drenched Cosmetics, which you see that I'm often featuring that Cosmic Oasis palette in my videos because I love that palette. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't use it. So that's a thing. So y'all head on over to Drench. I have a few things that I'm trying to get from there too, but shh.
Right.
I'm buying things on the DL because I don't want him to know I'm buying them.
Right.
Because I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Like I don't want him to know that I'm buying them because there are people who are actually nails, bitch.
Yes, Emily said, "Can we see the nails?"
Nail stream.
The
nails. Well, no, because like here's the thing with smaller brands, I am cognizant of the fact that they don't have to do PR, and if they want to do it, they can. But I'm big on this thing where like, let me spend my money here because I don't want you giving me shit for free because I'm not, you know what I mean? Like it feels weird to be like, to have them send me anything. Cause I'm like, please don't, you deserve your coin. And I don't even feel like I'm a big enough channel anyway to be like, for it to be a big deal. Girl. So I just prefer to like, I say that, but I got surprises coming up. So.
Right. No, and I understand that, but it's funny because people are willing to give more to people who can afford it than people who can't. And like, I mean, I understand why, because, you know, of course, if you send, something to somebody who has a larger reach, then you give it to them for free. And then that reaches more people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, but like, we don't have any money. So it would be nice if you could still just send it to us. Yes.
Well, and I get it, right? Because marketing 101, if people have money, for instance, you have Teresa is dead. She has a fairly large channel. She's doing pretty good. You have Samantha Marches. You have Sam Ravendell, who obviously she isn't taking PR, but just saying you have channels like that of that size, even a Tati size channel, because they have money, you have to send them the shit, right?
Right.
Because that since they have money, they have there's a chance that they won't buy your stuff. And so you send it to them. You're like, yep, here you go. Here you go. But when it comes to, and I also feel like, because Josh says this a lot too, he's very vocal and I love that. But very vocal about being like, y'all act funny with small indie brands and all that. Y'all be acting funny. And he's right. These people just legitimately think that it is perfectly okay to just be like, never bought one damn thing from the small brand. Not God, all that noise you hear is Bo freaking the fuck out. He gets the zoomies at the beginning of every one of my live chats.
Because he knows he's about to be ignored for a little bit.
Yeah, so he just gets like all tripped out and runs around like he's a little nutball, and I don't ever know what to do with him when he acts like this. But yeah, I mean,
hi,
these people are funny. Hey, Dion! Oh my goodness! I
love you so much. I know. I love Dion. She said we can. Well, I'm speaking for the both of us, but she said we can move with her.
Ooh.
We can go live in Canada with her.
She's a Canada? I'm sorry.
Yep.
But I think it's weird that people do that because they do act funny. They think like, oh, it's a small indie brand. I've never bought a motherfucking thing from this brand. However, I think that you should give me free shit. And I'm like, are you okay?
Right.
Like, you've never done one video, like one post tagging their brand at all, and you're like, give me the shit
free. Like, you want stuff for free. Yeah, I never understood that. It's like you still have to spend, like you still need to go out and buy your own stuff, but that's just that entitlement. You know, they think because they have such a large following, they're like, oh, I'll just wait for it. You know, it'll come in PR, and then when it never does, and they get mad, and it's like,
yes, and they throw these fits, and like that's I feel like Emily Hanahan has a huge hand in me being more into indie brands than I was previously, because look at it. I look at it this way. Charlotte Tilbury has more than enough shills for her, whether they're getting PR or not. She has more than enough people being like, oh. So I don't have to be another person. If I like a product, I'm doing my bops and flops, I'll throw that in there. But these big brands have more than enough people stepping for them, caping for them, capping for them. They have more than enough people doing all that. So I would much rather spend my time on some of these brands that people don't know about yet, or they haven't been paying attention to, or they've been on the fence about. Yeah. I want to draw attention to the fact that there's small beauty brands out here doing the most, and we need to be paying attention to them because, fun fact, when they blow up, like...
Yeah, right. You're like, I've been there from the beginning, like...
Yes, I have been there. Thank you. Have a good day. And speaking of blowing up, I have a question for you because the world is ending.
Yes.
And I was never more sure of it than when I realized that Vin Diesel has a song. Did you hear that shit?
Okay, I didn't hear the song, but I did see something probably like on Twitter or Facebook, and somebody said something about, I think they were talking about that little midget man, Tory Lanez, about him dropping an album or something, and somebody was like, yeah, but did you know Vin Diesel had a song? And I was like,
probably me. That was me talking to Tony.
Okay. Okay, is that what it was? It's like, I know I saw it somewhere. And I'm like, Vin Diesel has a whole song. Like, the bar is in hell right now.
Girl, if you have not heard it.
Oh, God. I'm going to listen to it.
It sounds like he is singing from underwater.
Oh,
first of all, he can't sing. He's Vin Diesel. Like, he can barely talk. Like, let's be honest. I love Vin Diesel movies. I am not being like but he can barely talk. He's like, my life, one quarter of my life. Yeah. Are you all right, bro? Are you like, okay?
He's famous because of his muscles. I hope he realizes that.
Yeah, because it's definitely not because he's intelligent. That's not there. And listen, I'm gonna say this because like on my Patreon live, I was like, listen, if y'all have not seen him do his Facebook lives that he was doing, he is weird. He's a weird guy. And he doesn't seem like he's.
Okay, got it. Maybe he has, not even joking, but maybe did he play sports? Maybe he has some kind of CTE.
I don't know. Because, Vin Diesel like hides virtually everything about himself. Like even down to his race. Like we don't know. He won't say.
Right. Like Vin Diesel, are you white? Are you Latino? Are you like, what is it?
Yes, because
we don't know.
Here's the thing. This is why I'm such a nosy person about people's race. Okay? Because I grew up overseas, but two, I can tell the difference between like American white people and non-American white people. Like I see it in a movie, I see them, and even when they have an American accent, I'm like, they are not American white. And I go to IMDb 99.9% of the time, I am correct. I'm like, that is not American. Like British men have, especially British white men, have like a different tilt to their mouth. Like it's kind of always, it's
interesting.
Almost sardonic. Like their mouths always look sarcastic. I don't know how to explain it, but British men have a sarcastic looking mouth. I don't know why. It has a sarcastic tilt to it. And I can just immediately tell, I'm like, that he's not American white. Like, I'm like, he is that. And then I'll go look at it up and it's like, oh, he's from Ireland. Oh, he's from Scotland. Oh, he's from, England. And I'm like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I called it.
Right. I was right. I saw the sarcastic mouth.
I know. I'm like, I saw the tilt of your mouth, and there's just a different set to the face. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's different.
It has to be. Maybe it has something to do with their accent. Like, have you ever looked at somebody and you can just tell by their mouth that they have like a lisp? Mm-hmm. And I can say that because I grew up with a lisp and I worked really, really hard on my own to make sure that when I speak, you can't really hear my lisp. And so
that's how I did with my pigeon toes. Like I was pigeon toed, like, but now I can't walk in a straight line. Like my feet face forward.
But then you like
yeah, because like I stared at my feet for so long trying to like make sure that they were going forward. So like if I'm not looking at my feet, like I'm just kind of zigzagging around.
Right. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just like a certain way that somebody holds their mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be.
That's a weird shit. It's like, I just, because as soon as I saw Vin Diesel, and here's the other thing that bothered me about that. I need these talk shows. I really need them to stop with the virtual audience. Please stop that. It's creepy. It is creepy. It is creepy. I want them to stop. It is freaking me out.
It's weird.
They have like all of these big TV screens with people just sitting there being like, I can't, y'all need to stop. It's weird. And I don't know another way to say it other than please stop. You're freaking us out.
The weirdest is the basketball games. That's the weirdest to me.
Yes.
Like, so I watch sports. And I've been watching football, and there's nobody like hi Brenda, there's nobody in the audience, Yeah. So, but they've been using like fake background noise. Oh my God, it's weird. They've been using fake background noise, which is whatever, but the basketball games are so weird. It looks like they're playing in like a half court gym, and they've got like all those fans that are like right on them. It's so weird. And the talk show, did you see when Wendy brought out Brandy? Please tell me.
I have not seen, because like, listen, I haven't been on my normal schedule for my hair, and that's normally when I see Wendy Williams. And I also don't have cable, so there's that too.
Got it.
So that's why I always see it on the weekends.
I think I saw it on Twitter. But she was like, she called out Brandy, and the way they like wheeled her out. Oh my gosh. It was the worst. It was the worst. I'm like, why did you even have to roll her out? Like she was literally walking out. I'm like, couldn't you just have it? No, she was like blowing kisses. Like,
I need them like just, and because Kimba S was saying I prefer them doing their shows from home. I actually do too. Do it from home. I don't feel like we need the whole studio. I feel like this is really teaching us a lot. Like this whole thing is teaching us a lot about all the space that we use and how much we don't need to use it. Like we have a virtual world. Yes, Jeremy, you did.
Yes.
I'm going to write that down. I'm trying to write down. So what I try to do is write people down because if you have channels, which he does, I try to, one of the easiest, simplest things that cost me $0 is to link people's channels. I don't understand why people aren't doing that. It's super weird, especially when you're monetized. All you have to do is do the @ and then it's super easy. It costs you no money. If I mention your name in a video, like when I'm editing, I will go back and like, I'm like I write people's channels down. Like, I mentioned this person. I mentioned this person. And I'll go put them on, and I just put channels to check out.
It literally costs $0. In the words of Audra, $0.
But it does. Like, I don't understand like why they've made it so easy for you to just like be polite.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even, it's not going to do anything negative for me. It's only going to do positive things for me to like, just be like at this person, at that person, at this person.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd just let you at everybody regardless of if they're monetized or not, because that shit's annoying. YouTube, if you hear me, please let us at anyone regardless of if they're monetized or not, because that makes it easier.
The feds are listening, so
it'll
happen.
Like it makes it easier. It's just Abria.
Right.
I think I said it right.
Hey, we have the same last name. That's interesting.
I don't tell anybody my last name because it's my colonizer name.
Oh no. Not the colonizer name. Not the colonizer
I don't even call it my married name anymore. I'm like, that was my colonizer name.
Oh, so you still have your ex-husband's last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about just like officially changing it to like Glow. Just like my name is Audra Glow.
Yeah.
And then that way when it's hashtag Audra Glow, that is me.
Exactly. Like, think about it. Famous people do it all the time. Ron Artest changed his name to Meta World Peace. Chad Johnson changed his name to Ocho Cinco, which that was the dumbest thing ever.
So dumb, Chad Ocho Cinco. And I'm like, it's just very weird that, because didn't he get handsy with what's her face? Wrote one of the basketball wives. And I can't stand that woman. I don't like her.
I don't know any of them. The only one that I know is Nene Leakes.
No, because that's Real Housewives. This is Basketball Wives.
Oh, see, I don't even know.
I used to watch Basketball Wives like you would not believe. Because Tammy,
Evelyn Lozada, there it is.
Evelyn Lozada, yes. Evelyn Lozada, I cannot. That woman, as Kenya would say, she needs to get a job. She makes me just, all she does is shit on everybody, and like her self-worth is just completely based on.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, girl, you have all this shit to talk.
That part. Yeah. So Evelyn, see, I mean, I don't know. I just don't really pay attention to that stuff. And I don't know why, because as much as like I enjoy drama, I cannot get into the Real Housewives and Basketball Wives and stuff like that. I cannot get into it.
I used to. Here's the thing. For me, I was more into that when I was miserable at home. So when you are married and you are in a miserable marriage,
okay,
watching these people who are rich completely self-destruct, although toxic, it makes you feel good. You're like,
I'm sure it does.
Because you're like, I could, and you can just disappear into somebody else's bullshit for a while, and it's nice. And then like also you can ignore your spouse that whole time. Like, I'm watching TV. You're gonna come out and you're like, I'm busy. I can't. What are you doing in here? I'm in the bedroom for a reason. Like, I came here because I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
But that leads me into this. I'm going to ask you this because I have a huge problem with men, especially, but we're seeing this a lot in the Black community, having a lot to say about gold diggers. And these same dusty ass motherfuckers are always sitting there talking about how they're like trying to build this perfect woman, right? They're like, oh, you gotta be like not a thought, which shut up,
right.
by the way. because these men are out there just spreading their seed every which way, but they want you to be a virgin who also knows all the porn star moves, who can cook, who can clean, who's going to stay home and have the babies and all of this stuff. But when you break up, God forbid you want money from them.
Right. And then did you see there was this thing floating around? I know for a fact I saw it first on Facebook, but it was, again, some dusty, probably small-dicked little man. And he was like, looking for my perfect girl. And it had just a list basically of everything that you're saying. And it was like, perfect body, no stretch marks, no baby daddies, only one boyfriend, but a freak and a
And didn't Xavier call it like small face, big head? And I screamed. I was like, it's always these dusty.
Always. Those are the ones that don't wash their ass because they think it's gay.
Thank you.
Those are the ones that we're dealing with. And you know, they want you to look like this perfect figure, right? But while they're shaped like Kevin Durant. And it's like you can't no.
They're over here looking like Jabba the Hutt. With crusty, ashy heels,
lips,
long fingernails, ugly tattoos.
Right.
And they want me to be Nia Long. They want me to be Beyonce. Like, and this is the thing, Michelle Lynn is saying, I mean, gold diggers are wanting a man who's stable financially. You're only a gold digger if they have no money. And they want to be with you, but they can't be with you. Like, that's the double standard. It's very much like if you are a beautiful woman and you happen to be with somebody who takes care of you financially, it's like, oh, this gold digging asshole. All these women gold diggers. But then I'm supposed to be with your dusty ass and help you build a life. I'm supposed to build your so that I've built a man. I have built a man. And let me just tell you, I left broke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's usually how it happens. I don't know if me and Tony were talking about it on my live last week, how that Jasmine Love's girl, she's getting married to a man who said he would never get married. And the girl who he was with before Jasmine literally built him up. Like, he was in prison. She was with him like right after he got out of prison and like helped him build his career and all this other stuff. And then they broke up because he said he didn't want to get married. A year later, he's engaged.
Thank you.
Yes, tall guy reviews. And I'm like, that's why you can't build these men up. You can't.
No. Because you don't deserve
you already have to build yourself up. So why do I need to build somebody else so that I can hand them over?
It's one of those things where I look at these, because especially when it comes to celebrity divorces, right? This is where I start getting fucking hot, because they will turn around and back this man, be like, she don't deserve this money. I'm like, oh, wait, just a minute. Just like, she didn't do nothing. I'm like, oh, hold on. You mean when she sacrificed her dreams and what she wanted to do and stayed here and made sure that the house was taken care of and the kids, because them kids didn't raise themselves. Them kids didn't feed themselves breakfast. Them kids didn't take themselves to school. She didn't, the house did not clean itself. Like, all of the events and functions that he had her take care of, that didn't happen on its own. So she earned that money. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Y'all want to put our worth in our homemaking skills, but then at the very same, like, take it away the second that we're not together anymore. Like, if we're breaking up, you want to take it away and be like, you didn't earn any of that money. But I'm like, but you just put my worth in staying home. You put my worth in taking care of the kids. So I did that. Now we're breaking up, and you're like, I don't give these hoes no money.
Right. And we're always hoes. Why?
Yes. And I did. I left with my pride. I left with a lesson.
That's awesome.
A lesson, a very valuable lesson. But it just, I feel.
Hey, Xavier.
We were just talking about you. Talking about small face, big head, like. Because he did. He looked exactly like this. And that dude, for y'all that don't know, this little dusty, crusty motherfucker, he was like 5'3", probably.
If that. I'm 4'11", and I'm sure I was taller than him. Like, I'm sure I was.
He got one of them little round, volleyball heads.
Yeah. And his face is like just right here. Yeah. It was just right here. It was just right. This is his entire face. The rest was just head.
I cannot stand that either. And they got them little chiclet teeth, have the nerve to be like, you better be a supermodel, know how to cook, know how to stretch marks. You better not have any baby daddies, not have had any boyfriends, have no sexual experience, but you better be a freak in the sheets. Right. And I'm like, how?
Can you explain to me how that even works? Small face, big head.
These are facts. Like, if you have not seen it, I mean, and listen, these men will do everything. And this is why I have a little bit of sympathy for a pick-me. I do. Because all of us women at one point in time, I think that we felt like we were pick-me's at one point, because the bar is always moving and changing on what it is that you're supposed to do to be a woman. So you see these pick-me head ass women on Twitter being like,
oh my God.
Are there any guys that like, are there any women anymore that like to take care of their man? And you're like, girl, just
stop. Or the ones that are like, I can't wait to get my man PlayStation 5. I can't wait to get my man. If you don't get that shit on his own.
First of all, that PS5,
since we're gold diggers, diggers,
thank you.
Well, he can afford it, so he can buy it on his own.
Oh my God, she said, don't forget the last.
Both of them.
It just, so I get it though, right? Because you start turning around, and eventually, like you're single, all your girlfriends, they're with somebody, and then it just turns you into this pick-me woman where you're sitting there being like, I cook, I clean, I don't mind if you hang out with your boys all day and you don't call me. I don't mind. I just want you to be with me. I don't care. Don't call me. I don't care if you're with me, on the DL, and you won't bring me out to your friends yet. You will one day. Like
Right. But I promise I'll do everything for you, just as long as you promise to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated, but they never do.
Thank you.
They never do.
I get it. But it's like, girl, you're going to have to get your own self-worth. It's not going to come.
Exactly.
From these, like, because did you see that post on Twitter where like another one of those dusty, long nose haired ass, long ear hair, too many eyebrows, motherfucker, sitting here being like, I like pick-me's. They try hard. Y'all drop your photos below for those of you who've been overlooked. And you know what? These girls were out there telling on themselves. I'm like, baby.
Right. No, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Like, I was sad for them. Like then a sadness came over me because they're like, I'm a pick-me. I'm like, oh, please don't.
Oh God. Right.
Please stop. Girl. They're looking for you because they know they can play you. Like
right. Exactly. All the time. Not the audition.
I can't, like, because like I get it and I feel sad for them, right? I get it. I understand. I was there at one point in my life, but eventually I had to be like, oh, I am done trying to pretend that I'm going to do all these things. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cook.
After 30, I'm sorry. Like,
yes.
Because I think I was like in my little pick-me stage around 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like my pick-me stage. And now I'm just like, look, either you want me or you don't. Right? Either you want me or you don't. Like, I don't have time to be doing all this. Oh, I'm gonna cater to you. Like, that used to be my jam. Destiny's Child, cater to you. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to put somebody's do-rag on.
Oh, no.
I did. And I wanted to take off his cufflinks.
Oh, girl.
I know.
And it's just,
I know.
I know though, because I was there too, where you're like, I like sports that I don't like, but I like sports. You know what? I like to play video games too, like violent ones. Like not I don't like girl video games. I like the violent. I like
yeah,
that, you know, like
like I want to shoot those hoes. I want to shoot the hoes.
I
like Grand Theft Auto.
I love it. It's twinsies. Like I love Grand Theft Auto, even though there's not really like much of a story here. But I like to walk around. I like to beat up the prostitutes because
because like ew, she's a hoe and she shouldn't have been out on the street anyway.
Yeah,
I'm so cool. I'm
just
so
smack.
I would never be a prostitute. Ew,
never. I would never show my body like that. I mean, unless you wanted me to show my body like that, but like I wouldn't show my body like that because that's not.
I mean, but do you want me to? Because I can. I can't. Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Oh no,
but like under normal.
Girls with glasses are so gross. I know, right? No, but if you like girls with glasses, I'm a sexy librarian.
Like imagine. Like I'm part of a bunch of groups on Facebook, and they always ask dumb questions like, "Would you what do they say? Oh, would you talk to your husband before doing the big chop?" No. It's my hair.
Yeah. Like, I think what bothers me is it's just every time we fight for autonomy, they fight harder against it, right?
Right.
Because these same men are out here, and I bring this up because, you know, these same men are out here defending that sad sack of a man, Tory, and being like, oh, we need to have more evidence. And I'm like, he shot her. Like, what more evidence do you need? And what's bothersome to me about seeing that is I'm just like, y'all are sitting here basing her worth on a song. And you're like the same woman that you'd be like, yeah, I'm not trying to, you know, back up some thought. And I'm like, funny, but you watch her. You watch many women like her. You go to strip clubs and give these women dollars. You get on OnlyFans and pay these women. But the second they need your help, you're like, oh, she's a thought and she doesn't deserve. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. I can't. And
misogyny is disgusting.
And that's where I'm seeing a lot of these pick me women. Oh, there's two sides to every story. Oh, okay. I bet you anything that you're willing to listen to why Nipsey Hussle was shot and killed. Don't you want to hear that side of the story too?
Thank you.
Because he was shot, but there's two sides to every story. So what did he do to deserve it?
Thank you. Like when it comes to women and it is not even just Black women. Because I used to sit there all the time and be like, for a long time I was just like, it's Black women. But white women experience this. Latina women experience this. All women experience when they say, this thing has happened to me and this man has done X. They're just like, well, what did you do?
Right.
Like I've seen this on Twitter where a woman is sitting here saying, please block this person. They are following me. They're doing this. I've seen varying races of women say that, please block this person. They are trying to ruin my life. If you are, one of my followers, please block them. They're doing all this stuff. And you will have these misogynistic pieces of shit in the comments be like, well, what'd you do to make him act like? I'm like, hold, because y'all make us extra crazy, okay? Y'all make us extra crazy. But you know what I don't do? I don't do all the things that I want to do. I don't. I want to.
But I don't.
But I don't. What I do is I drink wine with my friends and I scream and I yell and I get angry and I get loud and I don't do all the things to you. Y'all literally go out of your way to destroy our lives.
Right.
Like destroy them because we don't want your dusty asses anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Like, you see that thread going around and it was like, women, if there were no men for 24 hours, what would you do? And a lot of women were like, I'd go jogging at 5 o'clock in the morning, or I'd walk to the car without my keys in my hand, or, just like simple things that women do daily, just so that we are protected because the men out there, they just don't care. Like, men don't have to have their keys in their hand when they're walking to the car at night. They don't even think about that kind of stuff.
No, they don't realize that, like, as a woman, my everyday experience is doing things for protecting myself against them all day, every day. That is my experience every day. When I walk out of my house, it's like, make sure you have especially if it's dark, because I have to go across the street to smoke a cigarette. Listen, I know it's bad for my health. Leave me alone. But I have to go across the street. So I have my backpack on. And the backpack is, for those of y'all who don't know, if you wear a backpack, it's so that if they try to grab you from behind, you release the backpack and run. Like, that's all they got is your backpack. You take the fuck off. And like, they can't get a hold of you. It's hard for them to get a hold of you. So I go out with my backpack on. I always have my phone in my hand. So there's just so many different and I live in a super small town that has all of 31 police, like 31 officers. So it's not, and that's a lot for a small town, to be honest. But but like, yes, Danielle, that's why I have a backpack as well. Like, I've done this since college. I've carried a backpack, and I only recently got back into doing it. So like, they don't even think about stuff like that.
Right.
And
not at all.
The fact that they just don't understand our fear, our everyday fear of, like,
but they're
trying to live.
I feel like they do, but then again, they don't, because again, on another meme, it was like, society, or women will say, hey, I'm going running, and society will say, be careful, a man might rape you. Or, hey, I'm going to a bar, be careful, make sure you cover your drink because a man might rape you. Or, it gave like all these different scenarios. And then at the bottom, the woman was like, this man raped me, and society goes, okay, well, what did you do? And it's like, so you warn us about everything. You give us all the precautions, but then the minute we go, hey, we were raped. Okay, so what did you do? And it's like, what do you mean, what did I do? Like, stop blaming the victim. I don't care if a woman is giving you a lap dance butt naked. If she says no, the answer is no.
Correct.
I don't care if both of you guys are naked. I don't care if she's sitting on your lap naked. If she says she does not want to have sex with you, she does not want to.
But we're clothed and we still experience violence against us for not wanting to go out with them.
Exactly.
They literally ask us out on a date. We're like, hey, girl, can I talk to you? Can I get your number? And you're like, no. And this is why when people are like, women just say no, what's so wrong with no? I'm like, what's so wrong with no? Let me just tell you. All right. So let me just tell you that generally, if I decide that I do not want to provide this gentleman, loosely, with my phone number, he is then going to often berate me vocally, and nobody around is going to do anything. Like, I'll be at a gas station, nobody around. There's going to be other men at this gas station who are going to do nothing while this man screams at me, calls me a hoe, tells me I'm a whore, and like gets closer and closer to violently attacking me as I'm trying to like maneuver to my car to escape, all because I literally just didn't want to give you my phone number.
Because you said no. And men, I mean, they get creepier and creepier. You can't give them a wrong number because they'll call you right then and there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or they go, oh, give me your phone. I'll just put my number in it. They put their number in it. They call themselves. So now they have your number.
Yes.
I mean, it happens all the time. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Whatever happened to the fake number? You cannot give a fake number.
You can't do it anymore.
They will call you right there and then get mad because you provided them with a fake number. Well, how come you didn't just say no? Because if I were to say no, you would have called me a bitch.
Yeah. So now we have to have like this weird random language around it where we're literally sitting here doing things. We're like, I don't give my number out. They're like, oh, well, how about I give you my number? And I'm like, I don't want your dusty ass.
Right.
Like, can you just understand that I'm not interested in you? And that's why I like constantly have a backlash against the word friend zone. I despise it, and I refuse to have that in my lexicon because I'm like, that's just a weird space that men created to not accept rejection. So like, you have been rejected, sweetie. That's it. Please stop trying to make a space that you've created where you're not actually rejected. Like, no, I'm friend zoned for now. Because for now, realizes exactly, it is a for now status. That is not an always status. That is a for now status. So really, all they're doing is still preying on you in creepy ways that you don't know that they are. And then they're the same incels who be like, hey, I helped this girl move and she still would. And I'm like, okay, but that's your fault. Because she thought you were friends. First of all, you didn't even make your intentions known. You didn't say you liked her. But then if you did make your intentions known, she's like, no, I just want to be friends. And you still did stuff for her. You were still doing that stuff with the expectation that she would change her mind. You weren't doing it because you were kind.
Right.
You weren't being a nice, like, and that's why I hate nice guys.
Yeah. Nice guys always finish last. Nice guys finish last. Okay. You're not as nice as you think.
I need to get a Google Voice number.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
That's smart. That's really smart.
Because I saw, like, this was a while back. There were so many angry men underneath this post where they were talking about a women's only gym. And I'm not talking about Curves because Curves sucks. I'm so sorry. My mom did it. I know people who did Curves. It's just like you're just doing a rotation and it's not the same. So, and I say that because I know people do it. They're like, you're just going in this rotation and it doesn't really do a lot for you.
Yeah.
And then they just started getting mad. And then they started saying the most misogynistic bullshit, which reaffirmed exactly like, oh, good. Then we don't have to worry about like chicks coming in with all their makeup, taking Instagram photos. And I'm like, y'all do know that like a good 90% of y'all have jelfies, if that's what we're still calling them, on your fucking Tinder profile. Like there's 3 photos of your ass lifting weights at the gym. And you have the nerve to call out girl? Like
the nerve, the unmitigated gall. Like, okay, and you're the one out here flexing your 5-inch biceps. You know, like nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Well, so there's a few things that we as women can do to change this. I think personally,
all become lesbians. That's my answer.
Yes, I've already said before, like we can just remove straight cis men, keep gay men.
Yes. yes.
And start a new society. Like I just feel like keep gay liberal men, and I say that like gay liberal men. Remove everybody else. Keep the women.
Yep.
Keep liberal women, because this mentality of like as women, we have to stop playing into the patriarchy to the point where like you rebel against it so much. Like me and Emily were talking about this earlier. Jen Loves and I, she's one of my really, really good friends, and we're doing I'm doing skirt tutorials now because she's like, I don't know how to wear a skirt. They're daunting.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
But I realized, especially talking to Emily, there's a reason for that because there was a rebellion against wearing skirts, right? So then it gets harder to figure out how to wear a skirt. How do you wear it properly? And then because I was one of those girls, like when I was younger, like back skirts. I don't wear skirts. I'm better than this. Like I wear jeans. I don't wear dresses because I'm not like other girls. That was the I'm not like other girls then. Like then it was like you ate pizza, you wore jeans, and you didn't always put on your deodorant, you know? I'm 90s, not like other girls. Like I don't always wear deodorant. Also, I wear sweatshirts. I have on a sweatshirt, so I'm not like other girls. I have one streak of hair that is blue. I'm not like
not pink. Not pink. I would never.
I know. But I think that the biggest thing that we as women can do is stop bashing women. Stop it. Like as much as I feel sad for pick-me's, I also try not to bash them as much as I can. Because I'm like, you know what? That's part of the system. We've got to lift these women up and be like, Baby, you are better than
you're better than that.
Thank you.
Yes, sis, you're better than that.
Yes. Lift up women who feel like they have to take part in this, because the more we lift each other up, the harder it gets for these men. And of course, we all know when I say men, I'm not talking about the good ones. I'm talking about the shit stains. So
we're talking about the why are men men.
Thank you. So, lift these women up and give them space so that they can look at themselves and go, I'm still single and I've been doing all this. You right. I've been doing all this work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the pick-me's are still single. Like, everybody's still single. So, obviously, like, acting a certain way isn't going to get you a husband. Or a good one, at least.
Thank you. Like,
I used to rock the shit out of some velour.
But we can't bring them into the fold if we keep being mean to them. We got to lift them up. Sis, you better look at you. Look at you, girl. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. And do you know why you're single? Because these same men that you were out here telling them that you will cook and buy them a PS5, they don't care. They don't have any serious intentions. You need to join the side of the women who accept you for exactly who you are. And you need to love yourself, whether you're with somebody or not.
Yes. We need to do like an intervention for pick-me's.
Yes. A pick-me intervention.
Yeah.
Pick-me-vention. Yeah. And if we say it like that, they'll think that they're coming to get men, and then we're gonna be like, surprise, bitches.
That'll be their slogan. Sis, you're better than that.
Like, how many times have you cooked for a man and got nothing out of it?
Right. Okay. Right. Or how many times did you have to fake an orgasm? How many times did you have to fake an orgasm to make him feel better about himself?
How many times do that? Did you build your man up to be everything that he is, for him to be a piece of shit, leave you behind, get with someone else, and you don't even care that they're with somebody else, but you also want to be like, bitch, I'm going to need you to thank me and send me a check.
Right?
Because what you got right now, I made that.
Because I can let you know right now, he was not like that when I got him.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. This man was dusty. Like, you're like, this man was dusty. He didn't even separate his laundry.
Right? Aisha, I see. Okay. Now I understand where Aisha was coming from. So she was definitely like a pick-me. She definitely was. And I'm not going to fault her for it. But I think people just went too hard on her, because I think the first thing she said was something along the lines of like, well, men aren't in my inbox every day and blah, 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 blah. And I understand her, because I look at memes and I feel the same way. People be like, oh yeah, like all these thirsty men that be in my inbox. And I'm sitting here like, well, shit, they ain't in my inbox.
Thank you.
So like, are you guys making it up? And I'm not saying that they are, but they make it seem that men literally go for just any women, but there's a type, Yeah. There's a type. And Aisha wasn't that type, but I bet you right now, because she got the trainer and because her body is looking the way that it looks, she's probably getting a lot more men in her DMs now.
Thank you. Like,
so there's a type. There's definitely a type.
And we all know, like, so when I was first going through my divorce, I had this like muscle bound ass man. I was on Match.com of all places. Listen.
Oh gosh. Match.com. Okay.
Because you think to yourself, I'm paying for it, so it's got to be quality. Wrong. Mm-hmm. This man had the nerve, and I don't have access to it anymore because I used to have Facebook, and I got rid of it. And it was on my Facebook.
Okay.
This man, I was working. I was literally working. I'm not even kidding. Like, I read it. I was like, oh, and I read what he had to say to me. I read his, like, he sent me a message. I had to go to work. I was working. I think at this point I was working nights. When I tell you that he wrote like a long ass letter dragging me for not responding and
Oh.
telling me that I'm just a whore and I wouldn't ever get anybody, and he can understand why someone like me would not want to get with someone like him because I don't understand what stature in a real man is like, and it's not about money, but then proceeded to tell me about the house he owns and the 3 cars and his business. And all I responded with was, bro, I was at work. Have a nice life. And then I blocked him. Because that's how we have to respond to these. I will say this every time. When these people wild the fuck out on you, don't say anything. Just, if you were busy, especially most of the time you're busy and you just read that because you're like, oh, I got a message. You read it while you were like on a quick break or whatever. And you're like, I'll just respond later.
Right.
He didn't even give me 24 hours to respond.
Oh, wow.
And then just went like,
did I do something wrong?
and now you just need to let them know, instead of like fighting with them, you just need to be like, I was doing this.
Right.
And then be like,
Bye.
have a nice life.
Bye.
And block them. Don't even entertain them. Don't keep going back and forth with them, because these people,
That's what they want.
Absolutely nuts. Like I don't know what to do. Giving me unstable type of teas.
That's just like that response to somebody who writes like a paragraph on your, like in your YouTube your YouTube section. Mm-hmm. You just go, wow, I'm not reading all that, but congratulations, or sorry to hear about that. Like that's it. That's all you're getting from me. Because number one, I'm not reading all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not reading all of that because I said what I said. But yeah, when somebody goes off on you like that because you didn't respond to a message
in 24 hours.
That no, I don't have time for that.
Like, well, and here's the thing, like on my channel, I'm going to tell you this, and I've said this multiple times. You are not going to see me ever I think I've done it like one time to be like, hey, look, I'm an official YouTuber, but you will not see me ever post anyone's negative comment, ever. I won't do. I'm not giving them quarter. I'm not giving them space. This isn't the place to come to get like famous from being an asshole. I feel like I have so many wonderful, positive subscribers that I would rather highlight them and the nice, fun things that they do for me and say to me than highlight the one person. Like if I have a video that has 123 comments, why in the fuck am I gonna like focus on comment 59 that was me?
Right.
Because they got exactly what they wanted, right? They wanted to say something shitty, and then they wanted to be like, even if you block out their name, they know it was them.
True. Because I tend to do that. I tend to do that.
And I don't have like y'all, everybody do what you want. This is not me ever criticizing what anybody else does. For me though, I very quickly realized I don't want to give those people space, because then that brings more of those people to my channel, and more of those people come and say negative, shitty things, hoping that they're going to get attention for it. So I would prefer, for me, to highlight the people who are kind, who give me joy, who make me laugh when I am having the worst days. I wish so many people knew, because I can't do it all the time, but I wish people knew how many times I go to the comments and there was a video that I did recently where I just like curled up in a little ball and cried, like sadness and joy at the same time, because there were so many people who were kind and supportive and wonderful, as opposed to like the assholes. Oh my God.
Honey's out here talking shit about you, Audra.
Facts. It's just like I can't keep giving quarter in space, and I refuse to. I had somebody delete a comment on one, because instead of me like actually coming back at them, they said something really nasty on some video, like just basically went at me about how my presentation was childish. They can't believe I did this. And I looked at that, and I think the thing is, I don't know if it's because I'm a Taurus and I just like think about things. So I looked at their response and I thought about it, and my response to them was, well, hey, you know what? I hope that being really nasty to somebody you don't know made your day. I hope that your day gets better. And because the other thing of it is, I don't want my fantastic, amazing subscribers to feel like they have to defend me.
Say something, yeah.
And like, because I don't want them getting in these wars. And so they ended up deleting their comment.
Well,
completely. Because that's what I was
yeah.
like, obviously you're having a bad day. And by shitting on me, somehow I hope that made you feel better. Like, I hope that whatever you're going through, it's not handled.
Right. But you know what? But that's why I like TikTok, because you can directly respond to that person. Mm-hmm. You know, they can write a comment, and 95% of the time when you go back, like, you know, because they'll do a TikTok addressing that comment, 95% of the time when you go back to the comment, that comment is gone. That comment has been.
There are people who have shut down their damn videos and their TikToks. If y'all don't know who Ida Maria is, fabulous artist. Fabulous, by the way. So sorry. I was excited because very few people I know of Ida Maria. I was very excited.
I don't, but I definitely will look that. I will look them up.
I know, I'd play it, but you can't.
Right.
You'll be copyright stricken. And I'm like,
ay.
I had a Patreon copyright struck, and I was like, I don't monetize these.
Right. That's weird.
Because they're already
like they're yeah. That's weird. But yeah, like that's why I really, really like TikTok. Emily said those comment response TikToks are often so good. They usually are.
God, they're so good. Even if they don't have the views, like,
they're usually amazing, and they just make me laugh. They make me laugh so hard. And then you go back and it's like comment deleted or comment can't be found or whatever. And it's like, you doing a lot of talking for comment can't be found. Like, you're doing a lot of talking for that.
And like Consciously and a few others. I don't know. Do you follow?
I love him.
I love him so much. Like,
I love him.
He makes me really happy.
Yes.
Especially because a lot of people don't realize how homophobic the Black community is. And I love that he is always there speaking up for it.
Yep, always. Trans rights. I love when he calls them out, and he's so intelligent.
Yes.
And he does it so gracefully. And I'm just like, I like that. Yeah. And then his tweet's not loading. It's right.
Bad Karma is my favorite Ida Maria song, BT Dubs. Bad Karma, like, ugh. And I feel like I heard it on a random movie I was watching. I was like, this is the shit. So I found it.
Got it.
I keep doing this with my arms, BT Dubs, because like I hurt them somehow. I don't know why.
Oh no.
Like, I'm just old. It's like old lady shit. It's just old lady shit. Like, you just randomly like, I don't know what happened, but I'm broken.
Like, I lift my arm up, my whole shoulder pops, and I'm like, felt kind of good, actually.
I slept wrong. Like,
yeah, like my legs are sore, and I really don't know why. Because I didn't do nothing yesterday.
A lot of my back pain comes from Bo, if I'm going to be honest, because when he wants me, like, okay, when he knows that I'm like awake, like where I've kind of like consciously be like, I'm not fully deep in sleep, and he wants to go POTTY. Mm-hmm. Because if I say the words, he'll be like, oh, I gotta go. He doesn't have to, but he's gonna have to go. And then I'll be like, okay, well, stream's over now because he has to. But I lay on my side. I weigh, I don't know, 130, 140 pounds, depending on how my depression's doing. So, and he weighs like 85 pounds. So if I go to sleep on my back, but I normally wake up on my side, and he will drape himself over my side, like on the smallest part of my side, which is extremely uncomfortable because he's like crushing me.
Right.
To force me to get up out of the bed and take him out. Like, and he knows it. He knows what he's doing. He's not dumb. because he sleeps on me comfortably all other times, except when he's like, I got to go. And now he's just like, I am on this part of your body. So he knows that I have to get up he knows I only have like 10 minutes of pretending like it's not bothering me. I'm like, I can't breathe. Emily.
I love that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I crack like literally every joint in my body. And so a lot of my times when I'm editing a video, I'm like editing out my cracks and my pops like constantly. And so I don't know,
but a lot of my ADHD. That's what so I like a lot of my ADHD makes it in bloopers.
Yes.
But like
I love your bloopers.
I edit a lot of that out because if you all knew the amount of times that I was like, oh, let me look that up right quick, and I just completely get distracted. Like I'm looking up the information. I'm like, ooh, I looked up this, and like, now, ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? I'm like, oh, girl, you filming a video? Like,
that's like I'll be on Twitter. And I'll see something like, ooh, I have to go look that up on Instagram. Then I'll go to Instagram and something will be on like that front page. And then I get sucked in and then I just start scrolling on Instagram. And then I'm like, wait a second, I came on Instagram to look for something, but I don't remember what I was looking for. So then I have to go back to Twitter to figure out what I was trying to look for on Instagram.
Yeah, because like I talk to, like, there are people I talk to on Marco Polo. If you have Marco Polo, we'll talk on Marco Polo. But
I actually downloaded it. So
yes!
we have to link up on Marco
We'll link up. All right. Because if you talk to me in my regular everyday life, and you even actually see this on videos at times, but I often say, does that make sense? And when you have like my form of ADHD is because people take hyperactive to mean like actually this.
Yeah.
Mine's here. So I will say that because there is a disconnect for me oftentimes between what I think that is coming out of my mouth versus did it come out versus what happened. So like there's all these things where I'm like, I don't know. I have a cognitive dissonance between what I think that I'm saying versus what I am actually saying. So that's why I get very nervous about being on other people's podcasts, all of that, and being on other people's live streams. It stresses me out.
Oh no.
Because I'm so nervous that I'm like, am I making sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like the whole time I'm like, I was on the Half Cousins podcast and I didn't want to even listen to it when they put it live for everybody because I was like, I don't feel like I made any sense the whole time. So it's good to have friends who tell me like, yes, you are making sense, because I oftentimes feel like,
no, you're not.
Yeah. 99% of the time, like, I don't think I said anything that made any words. And that's why I had to recently start going through and editing my Get Ready With Me's that I would normally trash because I thought I said nothing. So I would delete it without ever having edited. I was like, I didn't make any sense, and I would delete it.
Oh. Well, that's no fun.
Like it made me like, because I would get stressed out, and now I'm like, I need to move to a point where I am editing it because I will find out if. And what's weird is now it's like 99% of the time I'm discovering I made sense, and I'm like, I got rid of a lot of good footage.
Right. That's usually how it happens. I mean, your biggest critic. There it is. Oh God.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of that. I'm always like, what's the word I'm looking for? And then I have to go to like my dictionary because I'm looking for, and then to my thesaurus because I'm looking for a specific word and it's just not coming to me. I don't know. I know I have anxiety really bad.
Same.
And then I have seasonal affective disorder. So like that, during this time when it starts to get cold. Do you know it's supposed to be 100 degrees on Monday?
Listen, I'm already pissed off. I'm already pissed off because listen, the mornings when it's cool, like I just want to live because I just made new merch that I think I'm testing it out there's some of it I've already got coming. And then there's another one. I got a hoodie and I want this hoodie to come to me. So I made this and I was like really excited. And I was like, oh, it's finally starting to get cool. I'm so excited. And then they were like, oh, and at one point it was going to be 90 degrees. Right now they've moved it to 88, which still Texas, that's still too warm. I'm like, please just be cool. And I'm lucky right now because I live near like haunted woods where it is.
Not haunted.
But yeah,
well, that's perfect for you.
There's things over there. There's one thing over there that's fine. There's another thing over there that no. And I know when especially as it starts to get dark, I'm like, ooh, that's not good energy, Bo. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I like that she brought this up, war paint and unicorns. Yes.
Yes.
If you talk to me long enough on Marco Polo, especially when it really starts running, I will literally stop and go, and I make like little noises, like random.
Is that your coping mechanism?
Yes, because what I do is I start to catch it because I'm like, and then like, so what I'm saying is, and I realize that I'm not finishing any thought, so no coherence is happening. So I will grab my hand and be like, to try to like focus and center and be like, what was the thing that you wanted to say? I know that there are 75 things, but there's one thing that you're trying to get out.
Yes.
Which one is it? And then I like do that to bring it down to a level because I don't take medication because I didn't like the way the medication made me feel. So, like I was focused, granted, I was also so skinny.
Okay.
If you think I'm skinny now.
Oh, baby girl.
You can't be 5'8" and weigh 110 pounds. That shit's weird.
You can't be and I'm a lot shorter than you, but my build is different than you.
Yeah.
I'm stocky, you know? I was a gymnast, so I have muscles.
Yes.
And I was on Adderall for like 2 or 3 years. And I was like 108, 110 pounds. And my mom was like, you don't look healthy at all.
I looked hungry.
But, yeah, that's what my mom bought me those, what are they called? The Ensure that have, like those protein drinks. She's like, here, I bought you a bunch of these, drink them. She's like, because you look sick. And I'm like, okay.
When I was on it, because I had the 24-hour ADHD.
Yeah.
So when I was taking that, the more weight that I lost, and then at first people were like, you look so good. And then they're like, you look sick, which is why I don't comment on people's bodies. But
period.
I had to start trying to take something to help me want to be hungry, which was, but to help me like be hungry. But I also don't like to smoke. I like edibles when in that.
Oh, okay.
Like I prefer edibles. So, but then the edibles, like I'd hit a point where it was like, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. But then the next point was like, is this shit happening?
Hey, you were stuck and couldn't do nothing.
I'm like, hey. And they're like, what? I'm like, am I still on the couch or am I in the couch? Am I inside of it? Am I inside the couch? Because I feel like I'm in it. And they're just like, no, you're on the couch. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Right.
Because I used to do it a lot for my endo. But then, you know, like once I switched to logistics field, I couldn't really mess with that because they do a lot of randoms. And so I was like, well, I can't lose my job over trying to like control endometriosis pain and wanting to eat, you know, all of that. Because it's because of my endo that I don't take a lot of medication. So when you have endometriosis, for me, I'm in a lot of pain, but it's also making me nauseous. So I would be in this like nasty cycle where I'm taking a lot of stuff for the pain, but I can't eat because it's making me nauseous. But the pain medication is making me nauseous as well. So it just started to make it worse. I was like, I'm not taking any medicine. So that's why I'm like anti-medication because I'm like, it doesn't go well for me.
Yeah. And so for me, I was taking medication for my so-called ADHD, because doctors will literally prescribe you with anything. Like you could walk in and be like, hey, I think I'm bipolar. And they'll be like, here's some medication coming right up.
Thank you.
Especially if you don't have a history of like abusing drugs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I told my doctor, I was like, I think I have ADHD. They started me on Ritalin, hated the way it made me feel. So then they gave me Adderall. And for the most part, I liked it, but it increased my anxiety. So it's like,
yes, because your heart's just like, because I already have a heart problem. Like I already have a heart situation. So
gosh.
Like, I'm like, I don't need y'all making, like, because I have anxiety, but I have a heart, my heart beats a little too fast.
Okay.
Tachycardia.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just, it kind of goes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so it's like when my anxiety gets even like a little bit more, I'm like,
yeah.
And I know
that's a bit, yeah. I'm just like, I need to find something that will keep my ADHD so like I can focus, but then also not raise my anxiety, because like right now my anxiety is going to be the death of me. Like,
yes, I have not been sleeping well for a while, and it's worse when I'm on my period. So my anxiety just is so much worse when I'm on period. I have, because of my endometriosis, it also like skyrockets my insomnia. So like I can't sleep. I am in pain. I'm stressed out. I'm like, this is the worst. Like I feel like I'm spending all this time just being like, someone.
My cousin
swallowed up.
Right. My cousin just had a hysterectomy because her endometriosis got so bad. And not that it matters, because, people always want to be like, there it is.
Yeah, that's
people always want to be like, well, are you sure you're done having kids? And she's like, I'm 47 and not married, and I have 2 grown kids. I'm pretty sure I'm done having kids.
Yes. Like they will not, I'm 40 years old. They will not let me let go of this because I haven't had any children. You know why? Because bitches can have children for a long period now, and they're well, I'm like, just because. Okay, so the other thing is, like, I have miscarried multiple times, so I'm like, I don't want to because of my endometriosis. I cannot carry, and I'm like, that's fine. Just let me. Can I?
Like, please just get rid of it, please.
Thank you, because I don't even want them, and like, I don't want them. Because I didn't even know that I had anything. All I knew was like I went to the doctor at a couple of different points in my life because I was like, this period seems really heavy. I seem really like this seems excessive. So I would just go, and they're like, this is what's happening, and I'm like, well, can I not have this? Then can we just take this out and
get rid of it?
No, you're young, and I'm like,
and that's another thing we can talk about is just how the government. Yeah. Sorry, okay. No, you're fine. Is how the government has so much to say over a woman's body than an actual woman herself. And it's so frustrating because, okay, I just told you that I don't want kids. I just told you I don't want kids. If I were married, I'd have to get my husband's permission.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if he wanted to get his tubes tied, he doesn't have to get his wife's permission. Why is that? Why is that? On top of that,
these men keep being in women's business, and they keep showing up, and I'm like, not a man in a woman's business, and they keep trying to be in the business, be like, well, this is, and I'm like, listen, this isn't about your personal stance. What you need to understand is, in whatever side of the fence you're on, I'm not here to argue that. What I am here to tell you is that Roe v. Wade is about a lot more than that. It is about keeping your medical decisions private. That's what it's about. When they overturn this, because like the push to overturn this isn't just about women. And the fact that people don't understand that is bothersome. It's not just about women.
They think
It
it's
is
just about
being able
abortion.
to ask any question they want about your medical. This means that your job, a potential employer or your current employer will be able to start judging you based on your medical records because they will be able to have access to them. This is, again, another form of oppression for all people. Like, that's why I tell people all the time, like, don't look the other way about what's happening to Black people and Mexicans. And I'm specifically saying Mexicans because of what's happening with ICE.
And those fucking hysterectomies.
Yeah, I'm like, don't look the other way because it's not happening to you. And I normally, again, don't get political, but I'm going to tell you this is important. Don't look the other way because it's not happening to you, because it's going to come your way. That's how all of this, it will happen. They will push it to you. They will try, because the whole point of a fascist or a dictatorship or a regime, it's not for the good of the people. It's for the good of these people, these specific people. So when they do this, when they come and they overturn this, there are millions of Americans that this will affect. Do you understand that, like, you white man can be disqualified for a promotion because you are taking an anxiety medication, and they'll be like, sorry, Chad, you might be a little stressed out for this. Right? And like that's what I try to get across to people. I'm like, you have to look past the skin color. You have to look past your irritation for BLM. You have to look past the fact that you don't like people immigrating to this country illegally. You have to look past that, and you have to look at your rights and what they are going to take from you. They don't stop with one group.
Exactly. That's what it's like. You said, eventually it will catch up to them. And the sad part is that it's going to take something serious.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Because I mean, as of right now, they don't care that, Black people are getting killed.
Yeah.
Unarmed Black people. They don't care because they're not Black and it has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
They don't care that, well, they want to get rid of like Planned Parenthoods because they think it's only about abortions, and they would never do that because, they were privileged enough to be on birth control and, like all these things that other people just can't do. They can't afford because there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Healthcare, there's not. So
that's the point. They don't realize that is part of the regime, like the whole like nasty regime. The part of their plan is to trick those of you, and this is why I am not a firm believer in organized religion, right? Because I feel like they are using your belief, and it's yours. It's fine. We're not going to argue that, but they are using your belief to trick you into believing that people have to do this thing because they want poor people to stay poor. So Planned Parenthood, they know that that's not even 99% of what Planned Parenthood does has nothing to do with abortion.
With abortion,
they know
not right.
They know that.
It's like 0.03.
Yes, and they know this, but they are tricking people into believing that that's all they do. And they're taking more personal belief of it because they know that if poor people can not do this, that they have to have their children, they will stay poor. If they know that poor people can't access healthcare, then they're going to get sick and die.
Yep.
These are the things that these are what dictators and the 1% have been working towards for a long period of time. It was taken from them. So people have to realize that, like, it doesn't matter if we're talking about politics in this country, if we're talking about the way women are treated in this country, if we're talking about the way gay people are, you have to realize that all of these rights will someday, some way affect you. And it shouldn't have to be when I have a daughter, then I will care. It shouldn't have to be when someone in my life is gay, then I will care. It shouldn't have to be when someone in my life is trans, then I will care. Because I'm like, but then it's too late. You have already sentenced them to a horrible life that they're trying to struggle and fight against. I don't get why it bothers you. It has nothing to do with me. If somebody is trans, it literally if you are trans and want to be referred to as they or them, costs me no money to do so. If you are trans and you want me to call you her, costs me no money to do. It does nothing to me. You deliberately not doing that is because you want to be an asshole to another person. Period.
Yep. And I'm trying to teach my son that because Miles is only 9. And I know, you know, the older he gets, the more liberal people are, you know, going to be when it comes to sexuality and gender and all these other things. And so we have conversations like this all the time. And we were watching something on YouTube. It was like Nickelodeon stars then and now, or Disney stars then and now. And one little boy transitioned to a girl, you know, to a woman. And so me and him were talking, and I was like, "Oh, is that the girl?" He goes, "Mom, he was a boy on the show, but now he's a girl. Make sure you get your pronouns right." And I was like, "What?"
Excuse me.
Because I said something about she, and he goes, "On the show, she was a boy," and I was just like, "Okay." Like, do you have a problem with that? He goes, "Oh, no, I don't care. But on the show, that was a boy."
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach him, like, respect people's pronouns. And he's actually really good about it. And so I told him, I was like, so what if one of your friends, you know, gave him one of his friends, you know, and they told you that they were actually a girl? He goes, "Well, then they're a girl. What's the problem?" And I just don't understand. Like, it doesn't do anything to his morale. It doesn't do anything to him as a person. I mean, if anything, it makes him a better person. Yeah. But it does nothing for him, you know, one day he goes to school with Steven, and then the next year she comes back as Stephanie. I don't know.
It doesn't.
It does nothing.
I think because I don't even like the word tolerance anymore. I'm like, no, I don't tolerate people. No. I just accept them. I accept them for who they are. And I hate that people be like, "Well, I mean, if you want to come in and say you're a beaver," I'm like, "No, we're not playing this game." What I'm trying to tell you is, as a person, if you need a mom and you don't have a mom who accepts you, I have a mom who will accept you. Yeah. If you don't have family who accepts you, I will be your family that accepts you. There's no reason for me to give 2 flying fucks about what it is that you want out of it. Like, all I have to do is respect you and care. Right. That's it. You don't even have to agree. That's the thing that people are missing. You don't even have to agree. You don't have to be like, "Well, I don't like that people are trans." But all you have to do is go, I don't have to agree.
If you don't agree with abortions, don't get one. If you don't agree with trans people, don't be trans. Don't be trans. If you don't agree with gay people, don't be gay. Like, if you don't agree with it, don't do it.
Don't do it. But respect the people who do. Like, I respect, you know, your need to get a giant lifted truck with truck nuts and all this stuff to prove the fact that you don't have a little D, which you do. You do. I know. I've run into you. I've seen it. All right. But you know what? I respect your ability to do so. I let you do it. Go do your thing. Have your big truck with your tiny with your
carrot. Small penis.
So
AR says, "I can't stand the word." Oh, we'll get there in a second. AR said, "I can't stand the word tolerance. Tolerance is me not smacking someone trying to explain to me what my truth should be about my life." Like, tolerance is like when you're at the pool and some little kid keeps running around and is screaming, and you're like, "If somebody don't get that child, or I'm gonna push them in the pool," that's tolerance. You're tolerating somebody's kid acting like a little jerk.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand it because I don't give a shit. Here, I love people. Yeah. I love people for who they are. I literally, whatever it is that I love you for who you are. And I also hate you for who you are. It's fine. Also, I actually don't hate people. I just pretend that they're dead because that's too much energy to hate you. But you're just dead. So sorry. But I don't like that when the people say like be more tolerant, because tolerant isn't what I'm going for. I'm not going for you being. It's not about you being tolerant. It's literally about you respecting other people, just respecting another human being.
Right. Amber said it great. She said, tolerance is, even though I don't like cheese, I still serve cheese when people are in my home. It doesn't apply to people.
It does not.
That's like, okay, I hate mayonnaise. I absolutely positively hate mayonnaise. But you best believe I have mayonnaise in my refrigerator because my son eats it.
Yes. That is tolerance. Like, that is being tolerant. Like, when it comes to people's, and I don't know why, like, whether or not it's scientific, it doesn't fucking matter. Here's the thing. Jonathan has decided and felt their entire life that they are Jennifer. Let them be Jennifer. Move on with your life. It's doing Jennifer. Nothing to bother you. Like, nothing about Jennifer is upsetting you.
I'm not going to sleep at night over Jennifer. I'm not going to get into a car accident because of Jennifer. Jennifer
ain't paying my bills.
Jennifer has nothing to do with me, but Jennifer is Jennifer, and that's what I'm going to refer to them as.
Yes.
Like,
and
why is
Jennifer's
that so
like,
hard?
I like to be called they. Then all right.
Then okay.
Then they are they.
Then they abso-fucking-lutely. Then they are they.
And I will say this in every stream and in every channel, whenever I have the opportunity. I don't understand literally how a 3-year-old could be like, call me Spider-Man, and you do it without hesitation. But someone comes up to you and says, like, I prefer to be called they, and you're like, wow, fuck these pronouns.
Right. You're
you
absolutely right. Like, how many times does a 3-year-old come up to you and they're like, Ruff, I'm a dog, and you're like, hello, little puppy. But like a grown adult who is cognitive enough to be like, I understand what society has deemed male, female, him, her, she, he, and I prefer this. Call me that. Get mad at society. How about that?
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, you can't do ballet. Ballet is only for girls and gay men. Says
thank you.
Who? Says who? And I grew up a gymnast, and then I moved over into cheerleading. Now, hey, Lisa. So in cheerleading, yes, there are a lot of gay men.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of straight men.
There are.
Because not that gay men are not strong, but when it comes to cheerleading, sometimes you get like the stereotypical guys who are like, I can't lift a girl. I don't want to lift a girl. They just want to dance. They want to be the star of the show, you know?
You're like, well, you should have been on the flag team. Like, come on now.
Right. But then like you need the guys, you know, it's usually the straight guys because they got injured in like football or wrestling or something. And then they're like, well, I guess I'll, you know, go join the cheerleading squad so I can look up some girl's skirt for, you know, hours a day. And they get strong and, you know, they could throw a girl, catch them on one hand. But for whatever reason, apparently all of those things are gay. Like cheerleading for a boy is gay. Gymnastics for a boy is gay. Ballet for a boy is gay. And it's like, but like, why and how?
Well, and this is the other thing that people do not like, because I was born in 80, was in high school in the 90s. What people don't understand is cheerleading for gay males was like the one place at that point in time. Like, we were still moving towards acceptance. But at that point in time, and even before that, it was like a spot for gay men to be able to be gay without it being stressful. And then they had to go back to pretending that they were straight and like, I like vaginas. Like, they had to like, as soon as that was that part of the whole thing. So people do not understand, and I don't think people really understood how far that closet went.
Right.
That was like the only space for a long period of time. Like, if you weren't doing hair or nails.
Right.
And it's like gay men are athletic. Like, there are athletic gay men.
Right.
Not every gay man is like, ooh, girl. Like,
right. Or don't get, okay. So one of my dear friends he's gay and he's not flamboyant by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. But he's also not like, he's a man. Like, I don't know what else to say. The only difference is that like he
hyper masculine.
He likes men as well. Like, I don't know. But like, he's one of my really good dear friends, and we talk about football, but I met him through cheerleading, so we can talk cheerleading too. But he was one of the boys who would, throw the girl in the air, and he, very strong, very masculine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure if he could have made it, in football, he would have. His sexuality had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
As if there aren't, what are they called? Bears?
Yeah.
Like as if there's not big, burly, masculine gay men part of LGBTQ. Like I don't understand why all gay guys have to be like very like,
Well, and it's the same thing with lesbians. There's some of it where I understand with lesbians. So like, because there was a period of time where I was like, maybe I'm just lesbian, right? And then I kept getting called lipstick lesbian, but then people were confused because they were like, well, you wear all the makeups, but like also you're
right.
kind of masculine. I'm so confused. I'm like, I'm just here.
You're like, my name is Audra. Hey, I'm Audra. Nice to meet you.
I didn't realize I had to fit a stereotype. I'm sorry I don't have a full mullet and plaid. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Like, I like to wear makeups, but I also don't want to wear a mullet and wear plaid at the same. Like, and sometimes I do want to wear plaid. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if I'm confusing for you. So, like,
everybody thinks you have to fit in like this box. They think everything is black and white, and for whatever reason it is, people can't think on a spectrum.
Yeah,
and that's what gender and sexuality, all of it. It's all a spectrum. There's no like you're this or that.
It's very
so
fluid.
Many in between. People are like, you have to be gay. You have to be gay, or you have to be straight, and it's like.
I think a lot of the femininity, from what I've seen, I'm going to have a gay man come on here because I'm not a gay man. But from what I've seen, a lot of that femininity comes from, especially in BIPOC communities, comes from the fact that their families were more accepting if they just considered them a female.
That makes sense.
So they just snatch away your masculinity, right? They just take that. And so it's easier if you're like, hi, like, what's up, girl?
Yeah.
Not saying that that's what everybody's doing, but I do definitely see that and have seen that happen in a lot of persons of colors, because if you just remove your masculinity from the situation, then your family can almost be like your homophobic family can be like, well, I mean, really, he's a girl. And then they don't ever think of you as a male. They just think of you as a girl in their family. And it makes it easier for them they accept that you're gay by and I'm meaning this, because they're like, it's a girl.
Yeah.
And then they just smile and they're like,
that was easy. As if it doesn't have any effect on, I don't know. I saw some funny comments. Michelle said, wait, I had a mullet in the 80s.
I know. I had one in the 90s, girl. Like, listen, the mullets are always coming. Yes.
But then also here's the thing is like when a male is into like makeup and wears pink, but then they love things, that are masculine, then it's like, okay, wait, so are you a girl or are you not? And you're like, no, I'm not a girl. I just like feminine things.
Yes. Because if you watch, and I'm going to link his channel, if you watch Jeremy's channel, you wouldn't know by traditional standards of what people think that gay males are. You would be kind of sitting there being like, is he just like a straight guy that likes makeup? Like,
okay, got it.
And I don't mean to offend you in any way, but you really would. You would sit there because he doesn't do all of the markers that people are used to. Like, oh, hey, sis. Hey, girl, sisters. Hey, girl. Like, that is not how he behaves. I watch his channel. I really enjoy it. It's a good time for me.
But what's the difference between him acting like being feminine, but then straight women are allowed to be a tomboy without their sexuality being questioned.
But it is.
You know?
Because you can only be a tomboy as a straight woman for a period of time. You have a small window of opportunity before they start questioning your sexuality.
Like middle school. Yeah. Like
middle school. Once you're to high school.
Yeah. Then you're still dressing tomboyish, and it's like, oh, are you a lesbian? Oh, and don't try out for the basketball team. Don't be on the basketball team because
don't be on the track team, girl.
Right? Because we know that only straight women do cheerleading. There's no such thing as a gay woman cheerleader.
Correct.
Just like all male cheerleaders are gay. Same thing. Or you know, if a girl plays basketball, she has to be a lesbian. Duh.
So this is very interesting because I have like
or a softball. Sorry, Becca.
Yes,
Becca said she feels attacked.
Because my hot take is this. I dated someone and they told me, they're like, well, I'm a trans male. And I was like, I don't know why you told me that. They came from a very supportive family. Okay. So their family just had up all the photos of him, never of her. Mm-hmm. So I'm always the person who says, like, I don't feel like, to me, I don't feel like you have to fucking say that to anybody. I don't feel like you have to. And it really bothers me that people are, well, you should tell them. I'm like, why the fuck should I? Do you tell people you like fucking onions? Or you don't like onions? And so like, it's different. And I'm like, it's not different. No. Even if they don't speak to their family, right? Their life, as you know them, is male. We actually just broke up because they wanted a relationship, and I was not in the mood for that shit at that point.
Okay, well,
like, not because like I was like, oh, you're doing that whole like, you're leaving things here, and I can't have that. Oh, yeah. Because I was recently divorced, all of this stuff going on, but I was so confused why they thought they should tell me, and I get it because it's like life-threatening, right? But to me, I don't think it should be that way because I'm like, you shouldn't have to tell me shit. Like, I didn't notice any difference in our sex life. I didn't notice any difference in anything that we were doing. I was content. Yeah. Except for when you wanted a relationship. I'm so sorry. Don't be mad at me. Out there, I'm so sorry. I didn't want a relationship. I still don't. I'm not good at it. But
you're like, sorry.
It just never occurred to me that was a problem, and that's why it bothered me. Someone here is talking about the Nikki tutorials. That's why it bothered me. How many people were like, "Well, she should have told us." She should. And I'm like,
for
she doesn't
what?
owe you that. She doesn't owe you that.
Was she sleeping with them?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Like, and what I
like,
really,
she should have told her boyfriend. I was like, again,
how do you know she? Number one, how do you know she didn't? Number two, why? And that's the Nikki tutorials thing was really weird because then you got a bunch of people going, "Oh, I knew she was trans all along." No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You really didn't.
I
the fact that people really tried to buy Amber. But like the fact that people really tried to be on there, it just, this weird hatred that people have for things that they don't understand. Because again, there was like, did you see that TikTok video where it was so confusing because the straight guy was talking about if his girlfriend had a gay guy friend, in order for his gay guy friend to prove he was gay, he would have to suck his.
Yes! That makes no sense. Okay, so basically, number one, you're questioning your girlfriend because you don't think that that's actually her gay best friend. And secondly, like, are you okay?
Like, I thought that was weird because I was like, are you trying to tell us something?
Because I'm sorry, but if you are a straight man, you're not going to ask another man, period, to
go down on your business.
Not happening.
To get uber friendly with your carrot. You're just not going to ask that. You are not. So that mentality though is weird because the idea that there's like men pretending to be gay so that they can see your girl naked, weird. weird shit.
And disgusting. It's so disgusting.
It gave me like the heebie-jeebies in the worst way, because I was like, I have never thought to myself to be like, oh, this is your best friend? She's a lesbian? Well, she's gonna have to go down on me to prove it. She's gonna have to eat this taco so that I know. And then once she does this, then
you know what?
Okay.
We might end up just leaving you all together, and you just might be another straight lonely man. I don't. It's your fault. You should have never let her do it.
That's just the weirdest thing. Like, the straight men come up with the weirdest behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how to tell y'all this, but this is some really homoerotic behavior y'all have for trying to prove that you're straight. And it's strange for all of us. Like, gay men are confused, straight women are confused, lesbians are confused, the pan and the asexuals, we're all the
bisexuals are confused as shit. Like, wait, what?
We're literally all like, how? Y'all straights are so confusing. We don't know.
I know.
What are we supposed to do? Like, are we supposed to agree with you? Like, do you? So are we?
I don't.
Are we doing? Are y'all doing straight things, or are y'all doing gay? We don't know. All of us are sitting over here, just so confused.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Boo is confused. I know. Bo's confused
because he wants to TINCKLES, and I'm going to have to take him in like 10 minutes before he gets like really rowdy about it. But yeah, I don't know. We're all just living in a land of confusion, like looking at these folks like, are you?
I know.
Can you just like the straight men are messing me up. I'm confused by everything that they want. I'm like, I don't know what do you want us to do? I don't.
And that's the thing that I just don't understand. Like, I feel like a lot of these straight men are just making up for what they might consider to be gay thoughts, but are just like natural thoughts. And they're like, there's no way I could think of that. That makes me gay. I can't be gay. I'm masculine. I'm a man. Roar. Look at the hair on my chest. Let me take a shot of whiskey to prove that I'm a man. I'm a man.
Meanwhile, I'm in like every bar bathroom making out with so many girls. Like, it was unreal. Like,
right.
So me, like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Can we make out? I'm like,
yes, please.
Like, zero hesitation. Yes, we can make out, because girls know how to make out. First of all, they don't just assault you with tongue.
Right. So I have, again, cheerleader, lots of gay friends. So I frequent the gay district, and one of me and my friend, the both of us were kissing the same guy at the same time. It's fine.
Like, I'm convinced straight men just assume everyone is as creepy as they are, and that's the tea.
That's what it is. That's why gay. Oh my God, there was this thread on my Twitter the other day, and the man was like, I think gay men, or I think men should not come out. I think he was from like the UK, because he said football, but he was talking about soccer. So you know where I'm going, right?
I think so.
Because he was like, I don't think gay men should come out because it might not be safe for them. Or no, he said, I would feel uncomfortable with a gay man watching me get dressed.
It was just weird.
First of all, what makes you think you're attractive enough? Number one. Number two, if a gay man's going to look at you, a gay man is going to look at you, whether you have clothes on or not. And
is he the one who kept trying to compare it to straight women getting undressed in front of men that they didn't know? And I was like, and he never had any comeback to me when I said,
but
your
where
argument's
would that
invalid,
happen?
it's not the same thing.
And also, where would that happen?
No, I don't know. That's made up bullshit. You people would be like the straights, the homophobic straights be saying anything that they can, and it doesn't make any sense, baby.
And this is why I know being straight is not a choice. Because for some reason, I'm still attracted to.
I like the gamut, and I have something on the. But I'm not going to talk about it right now. But I am a situation.
I'm just waiting for my first girlfriend.
Listen,
that's all.
I will say this though. I am going to say this. Sometimes the estrogen can be a little much.
Oh yeah.
But it's that way all the time with all female friendships, right? But like sometimes you're just like,
right.
Especially because I'm like, just let me be bossy. Stop bothering me. Stop. Let me be bossy. Like,
right? Oh, AR. Yes. AR said it best. He said, listen, when I was in the army and had to use public showers, child, I'm trying to get in and out. Ain't no one thinking about straight men's unwashed peen. Because that's how straight men are disgusting.
Thank you. My ex-husband used to like take off his socks and leave them in a crinkly ball.
I thought you were gonna say
I would just wash them like that because I was like, if you're not gonna undo them, they're gonna be crusty. Because they stunk. His feet stunk. His feet smelled horrible. And I understood, like, he did an outdoorsy, he was a diesel mechanic. I understand that. But if you're going to take them socks off and expect my ass to wash your laundry, let me just tell you, I am not unballing that. That is too much for me.
Being straight is the ghetto, Angelica. Being straight it's the ghetto. It is. And I'm a whole ass clown. We can be clowns together because I'm still out here pretending to be straight.
I'm having so many problems. Being straight is the ghetto. Like all I hear is like, "Ooh, girl, you got a white refrigerator." I was like messed up from that. I'm like, ooh.
I'm tired of being straight. Nothing worse than a dinky that is stinky. Listen.
And they just people all the time. I can't deal with it anymore. I can't. And it's just the straights. We just got to do something to help them out. Like,
we need to make sure that straight people are oppressed, to be honest. And so that, like, straight people need to be oppressed. And we need to make the spectrum just more, we need to make being, like, bisexual or bi-curious, like, a for real legitimate thing.
I'm sorry. I'm still like...
Are you talking about Stinky Dinky?
No, I'm getting back to you just being like, being that straight being oppressed. You need to oppress straightness. I was like,
we do!
Take that shit back.
Being straight people need to be oppressed. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say, but straight people need to be oppressed. And that's me
the facts.
Being straight.
Them's the facts, though. Like, just, y'all go, like, oh, because I am fully pan. I know this. I have spent enormous amounts of time. So, like, for instance, Jay Gordon, okay? Like, I don't know if you know this. There was this band way back in my old school
hold
days.
on. Elise said she could be in a lesbian asexual.
That could work. They could. Women get together. Like, listen, ladies, we got to do what we can do to make it, because these straights are out here. Just.
I have a cult. We're called the Lesbian Nuns.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, anyways, continue. Sorry, I don't
remember what to say. I already forgot. I'm fully pan. Jay Gordon. Gordon. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Orgy was the band. To this day, men with makeup, which is why I date whenever I can, and they don't see me as like a full-on normie. Men in makeup, goth boys, goth girls. I spend my life there. Listen. Because Stitches, I'm going to see if I remember to link it, but the video was Stitches from Orgy, like, oh. Listen, back then I was losing my entire religion to boys in makeup. I was like, ah!
Oh no.
And it wasn't just guy liner. It was like the full, and before I knew that Marilyn Manson was like a monster, like an actual monster.
Literally.
I was like,
got it. So those are the boys that you like. Or I should say people. Okay.
They were the ones. I spent all this time and I was like, yes. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try to link it without it making noise, which I'm not going to make it. I did it. I'm like, which I'm not going to make it. But I was madly, completely, and totally just like, Jay Gordon is going to be my life. I'm going to marry him. We're going to have babies. Even though I didn't want babies, but I was like, we're going to have babies.
But you would have that baby.
Yeah, if that baby was going to come out, like, because it was like him, there was Power Man 5000, there was Marilyn Manson, they were like, and they were just, so did I have like a little bit of crush on Pete Wentz for a little bit of what? Yes, all right. He had on Guy Lina, it was different.
Pete Wentz is kind of cute though.
I know he was. With his chubby cheeks and his like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I had that whole thing when it came to all those like pop punk, like all of them, just because they were always like,
yeah. And I grew up kind of in that era. So I grew up on an Air Force base. So if you don't know anything about the military, the Air Force is the hardest, quote unquote, to really get into. And this, what I'm about to say, has a lot to do with like systemic racism and whatever. So not a lot of Black people, hey Tanisha, not a lot of Black people went into the Air Force because of where they lived. And a lot of Black people who were trying to make it out the hood could only go to like the Army or the Marines or, you know, wherever it was easier to get into. Not to flex, but my dad went into the Air Force. So
did my mom.
Okay, mama. Yes, let's flex our parents because let's flex our parents. So my dad went into the military into the Air Force at 18. Sorry, Bo. Tell him I apologize.
I know. Bo, give me 9 minutes. 9 more minutes, maybe.
AR said, "Boo the Air Force." But my dad was in the Air Force. He went in at 18 in 1979, I think. Not Pete Wentz fanfic. I can't. Okay, let me concentrate. So my dad went into the Air Force in 1979, I think, 78, 79, something like that. He did 20 years, but because of where we were stationed, it was nothing but white people. So, and I don't know if people truly understand, like, when you're around a bunch of those people, like, not those people, but a specific group of people, like, that's, like, what you become attracted to or whatever.
Yes.
That's just, like, white people who grew up in affluent Black areas, like, they probably are more attracted to Black people, or affluent Asian areas or Latino areas or whatever. It just depends on where you are. And, you know, I have an entire Black family, but we live far away from all of them, my mom's side and my dad's side. And so all of the people that and especially like growing up, you know, like in your teens, it was just a bunch of white people. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because she was like David Bowie, and I was like, you mean that David Bowie?
Right. And so you grow up being attracted to whatever you're around. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's fact.
And so I grew up in an area where it was a bunch of like punk rock white. I mean, it was white kids, but it was just different types of white kids. But punk rock was in that, and I was like, ooh. So like, I get it. I understand. I 100% understand.
Yes,
that's what I grew up around. But then I moved to Sacramento. Not that, and I moved into actually a whiter part of Sacramento, but there were more Black people than I had ever experienced in my life. So I would go to where all the Black people are. I'd go to North Highlands, or I'd go to Elk Grove's kind of white now, but I'd go to South Sac. Like, I'd go to the areas where there were Black people because that's what I ended up kind of liking.
Listen, there is a level of trashy white man that I cannot turn away from. I'm not going to lie. I live in Texas. All right.
Oh yeah.
They have like a swagger. I don't know how to explain it, but they have like this, I don't give a fuck about the whole world. Fuck everything. Swagger. And you're like, hi.
Hi, I'm Audra.
Hey, how are you doing? Do you like to throw beer cans out of your truck window? Great.
Do you play cornhole? Do you play cornhole? Because I think I like that.
But like, yeah, I mean, I just grew up with all these varying forms, and a lot of it was forms of whiteness. So of course, like, I'm attracted to that. I'm not gonna say no to a man in makeup. I'm just telling you. If you see me out with a goth man in makeup, mind your business and be happy for me. But like, just be happy for me. Be like, oh my God, she's found it. And I'd be like, I found it, bitches. I didn't get an eat shit and die ring for no reason. This ring literally says eat shit and die on it. Like,
and of course it would be on your middle finger. What other finger would it be on? And like Jordan Harris, I put a photo of me just like doing this on Instagram, and she was like, "This is the modern day Mona Lisa." It was like, it made my week. It was the sweetest thing I'd heard, and so you're like, "Oh my God, she loves me."
I know. I was like, "This is how people care about me. It's by understanding my dark soul." So. But I do have to take the dog out. I have to take
poor baby. Okay, well, first of all, tell Belle I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. He just gets in his little moods where he's like, "You've been doing this long enough, and this isn't a scheduled day."
Right. And how old is he?
He is 3. He's a teenager.
Oh, so he's still just a baby.
Yes, he's 3 years old. He's now reached his teenager phase. I'm not a fan of all of it. And he is the sweetest baby in the entire world. And I love him so much. And I talk to him like that all the time. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming, Cherita.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
2 hours of conversation with a fabulous person. Again, if y'all aren't subscribed, please subscribe, because she's almost to 9K. I'm almost to 7. This shit is getting wild. Black girls doing well. So,
yes, Black girl magic.
Black girl magic all the way around. I just want to thank all of you again. And until next time, y'all, $0 to be kind, and deuces.